Well, after working with Dr. Allen for 2 years, I'm going to follow doctor's orders and keep my mask on. A special thanks to Annette, Dr. Allen, and the Cure for the Kids staff for the opportunity to share our love for Janie and to make her memories come alive. It's up to those who bear her memory to keep her goodness alive. As Janie's mother, this is a responsibility that gives meaning to my life. As a young child, Janie always knew she wanted to be a teacher. She had a special way of connecting to children with her beautiful smile and her laughter. She was a natural. She was able to make each and every student feel special and capable of excelling. You wanted to have Miss Bordinhao as your teacher. Janie worked at the Boys and Girls Club during the summer months before heading to the University of Oregon to pursue a degree in education. Upon graduation, she landed a coveted position with Teach for America, which brought her to a small, rural, impoverished town outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. Janie quickly learned how difficult it was to create an environment for children to learn under these circumstances. Many of her third graders weren't even able to read, so she opened up her classroom after school to allow students to stay for more help. That was Janie. After spending 2 years in North Carolina, her soul yearned for more fulfillment, so off she went to Thailand to teach English. She embraced the Thai culture, even learning how to say numbers so she could barter. The students loved her and were even amazed at her ability to juggle the soccer ball. 2 days after her return to Vegas in May 2017, Janie was diagnosed with leukemia. Her mantra was, "Let your faith be stronger than your fears." She immediately started treatment, but the cancer reared its ugliness. Fortunately, this led us to Cure for the Kids and Dr. Allen. We knew this was where she needed to be. Hope is the expectation of good that is yet to come. Throughout her journey to kick cancer, Janie always talked about wanting to teach children who were battling cancer. I told her we'd do it together, like we'd done so many things. I retired in 2013 after spending 33 years with the Clark County School District. I told her she could count on me to help her in the classroom. Did this fall? After her bone marrow transplant in November of 2017, Janie returned to a new normal. Janie landed a job teaching social and emotional learning at Dr. Beverly Mathis Elementary School. She was back in her groove. Thanksgiving 2018, her leukemia had returned and treatment began again. She was determined now to be a back-to-back cancer survivor. God had other plans for Janie, and she got her angel wings on January 15, 2019. All the more reason to bring her dream to life, to give her spirit a way to continue touching lives. My family and I are proud of our search for meaning after Janie's passing. Grief confronts us every day in this new reality. What transpires in these classroom walls will give the children here at Cure for the Kids opportunity to receive an education that should not be lost with the diagnosis. Children deserve an element of normalcy in a time when cancer tries to steal everything. Janie's classroom is the result of the collaborative effort of family and friends in conjunction with Cure for the Kids and the Clark County School District. Know that Janie's classroom will be a place where all children are welcome and cherished. To my education team of Rod Knowles, Reese Oswald, Lorraine Bloomy, Cindy Allamshaw, Andrea Klafter, Rakita, and Deb Palacio Hayes, thank you for the dedication and commitment to get this off the ground and up and running. Jen, I know you will do great things as a classroom teacher and be the change these children deserve. To our many friends and family members and all of Janie's friends everywhere that donated to Cure for the Kids, your generosity is so appreciated. Thank you to my husband Celso, my sons Jansen and Jeff, and their beautiful wives Savannah and Maddie respectively, for always being there for me. But most importantly, for your love and your desire to live on to honor Janie. A special thanks to Dr. Jara and Deanna. Your belief in us made this a reality. I'm truly so grateful. I now have the pleasure of introducing a very important guest. Before I share his bio, I'd like to share my story about how I was able to make a connection with Dr. Jara. I followed Dr. Jara on Twitter, and I was reading my Twitter feed when I came across a tweet. It was a picture of his beautiful daughter, and the caption was, I think I'm right on this, it was 5 years cancer-free. He too had a daughter that battled leukemia. I instantly bonded with him and felt the connection parents feel with one another when their child receives a cancer diagnosis. We understand the journey. So I decided to send him an email and tell him about Cure for the Kids. He responded immediately, expressing his interest in touring the clinic. I knew when he stepped foot in the clinic, we'd have a chance of a partnership. Due to his busy schedule, his Region 3 superintendent at the time, who now has been promoted, Deanna, toured the clinic. I knew she'd get hooked, and sure enough, she was. After this, Janie had gotten her angel wings. I had sent another email to Dr. Jara, sharing my loss. He sent me the kindest email back. Both Dr. Jara and Deanna knew the importance of having a teacher at Cure for the Kids. They made it happen. Their confidence and faith in us to make a difference to a child battling cancer meant everything. We will continue to earn your trust. Dr. Jesus Jara, Superintendent of Schools for the Clark County School District, has been serving public school students for over 20 years and has a lifelong passion for creating better opportunities for all children through education. We are so fortunate that in 2018 he became our leader in public school education, and grateful he has made time in his incredibly busy schedule to be with us. I want you to see my smile. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jesus Jara.
If I can, I'll follow doctor's orders. Well, first of all, I'm humbled to be here amongst all of you. And really, from day one, since I've been here, this community is amazing. What this community, I believe, will do for our kids is just, I've never seen it anywhere else. So I thank everybody for being here and the generous donation. The Andre Agassi Foundation up in the center, the Cure for Kids. It really is unheard of. So thank you. I'll go back a little bit as I'm sitting here. My Jackie, who is now in college, as a sophomore, studying mechanical engineering. So about the IQ, she reminds her brothers that she does have a higher IQ and she beat cancer. So I'll tell you, to me this is so important for our school system to be so involved and embedded in this, because I go back to June 11th, 2013, when Dr. Naga diagnosed my daughter. I still remember I had 5 phone calls that I declined because I was in a meeting, until my wife said, you have to go to the hospital at 1:30, and went through her treatment. But her biggest concern was, when can I go back to school? As a 7th grader, when can I go back to school? She convinced her doctor. I was just talking about this, and I apologize, I'm going to have to tell this story for her. As she and her doctor, Dr. Naga, just kind of going through the protocol, and when he said to her, you're not going to school because I have to protect you to cure you, that's when she started crying. So as the deputy superintendent, I took school to her. But then I said, how come all the other kids? And how do we do that for all the other kids? I have the resources and the ability. So how do we do that? So when the email came and I read it, as I get many, many emails, and for the record, I do answer all my emails, but this one was special because it just brought to so many other kids that we have in our school system that need normalcy in their life, which is school. So when the Dr. Nagai, wrote her a letter and said, you can go to school, I said, what are you doing? He goes, she's never going to be able to go, but that will keep her spirits up. So the mind of a doctor convincing her or thinking that she's going to go, right? It was just what kept her going was the normalcy of a school system, of a classroom and her friends. So Clark County is all in because this is so important for our children. For our children in this community, you can count on our investment to continue to grow this partnership. So thank you all for being here on this very special. I've learned a lot. September is Leukemia Awareness Month, and September is also Childhood Cancer Month. That we need to bring some more awareness for people to understand because we are curing our children. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Wow, what a wonderful day so far. It's a great way to really kick off the Janie's Classroom and the Andre Agassi Center for Learning. And I have the great honor of introducing Steve Miller from the Agassi Foundation, and he's going to come up and say a few things. And we're forever grateful. I can tell you, I remember my first phone call with Steve was about 18 months ago. And it was one of those where we really thought we could do something together, but we weren't quite sure how that was going to land. And then he sent over Julie, and Julie became a huge fan of Cure for the Kids Foundation and what we're doing, and just got behind us and said, I completely understand the need, and I'm going to see how I can make this dream come to a reality. So, Steve.
I'm going to take this mask off. I apologize. First of all, Julie Pippinger, who's over here. Julie, could you just stand up for a second? I have one of the great jobs in the world. I have somebody else do all the work, and then I come in and take credit for it. So it's really a wonderful experience for me. It's really great. But this was such a natural for us for such a variety of reasons. I'm a two-time cancer survivor. I've had cancer twice, most recently a myeloma in the last year, and I'm just coming off of that now. I'm 77 years old and have seen a lot of things. And when I spent my time in the hospital, I was down at UCLA, I was always struck by the young people that I saw and what they were thinking about. Because to me, cure is a full circle activity. It's not a one-dimensional activity. It's not an activity about regaining your health only. It's about stabilizing yourself psychologically, academically, emotionally, and in great many ways, even religiously. And the insights that you gain from illness, frankly, are life lessons that are extraordinary. And for those people, either family members and or individuals that have gone through it, they understand there is another door you can walk through, and there's another place to get to. The Agassi Foundation, I signed Andre when he was 16 years old, when I was the vice president of Nike, and Andre is 51 years old now, and he and I have been together all that time. It's like a average marriage. It's been good some days and not so good other days. But we share this enormous passion for education, enormous passion for what we believe can change the world. We have built 121 schools in the United States, all over the country, charter schools that we have underwritten. We raised $1.2 billion to do that. We've engaged the business community to get involved and tried to go beyond philanthropy to get it done, because we believe that any problem is everyone's problem. And as a result, we believe that through academics and through education, there's hope. And us giving and making this a reality is as much a joy for us as it is for you. Trust me. We get as much joy out of it as we can. And we see that whole, that academic, both technology divide and other issues as they relate to economics and geography, et cetera, and we just want to be a small part of what we can do. We live in this community, and the bottom line is, if you care, then you must act. You can't say you care and then not act. So as a result, this was an easy decision, and to partner with the Clark County School District, to partner with, we never met, and I asked you if you were a good speaker, and you said no, and you lied. But you're very good, and I'm a little embarrassed to follow you. But be that as it may, this was a joy for us. We think we can be part of that healing process, but we know it's an extraordinary effort. And for those of you that work here and spend your time, I congratulate you. I just think it's an unbelievable undertaking. I was for 2 years the head of Special Olympics in the East Coast and worked with the Kennedy Foundation at the time, and I saw things that made me get very emotional over lots of moments. And I promised myself that if I cared about these things, whatever they were, that I had to engage. And as a result, the foundation has given us a platform to engage. So I thank you. You thanking me is a byproduct of us fulfilling our dreams and desires and being able to help in a small way. We love this community. It means a great deal to us. But more than that, we think that this is a place, when we look at what is being done and can be done, we look at it as a model that could be a national model and something that we should be proud to spread throughout the country. And being a part of that is just a glorious feeling. So you don't have to thank me, you don't have to thank Julie, you don't have to thank our foundation. The truth is we thank you, and we're behind you, and we will continue to support you as long as this work continues. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve. Okay.